Good morning, RNA. I'm trying to get in contact to speak with someone about fake putters being used in our club competitions. Well, good morning everybody, and welcome to another Sunday morning show. So today's theme, because I've had this email that's come in, and it's not been, let's say, directed at me, but it kind of came across my desk, should we say. So the big question that we have had in, which I didn't actually, well, probably I did know about it, but I didn't really think much about it, if I'm brutally honest, because it's not something that, has jumped out to me in a big way, really. But the email that's come in is all about the counterfeit golf products that are out on the market. And most importantly, the one that sort of jumped out at this moment in time is these new lab fake putters that have come over from, I don't know where they're coming from. They're coming from Temu, I believe. So people are purchasing a lab putter, which, as some of you may know, lab putters are very expensive products. You're north of £500 per putter, and that's annoying, isn't it? But Temu make a putter which I've seen kind of people purchase for in the region of around £80. Okay, so £80 to £100 you can pick up a fake lab putter. What's so good about lab putters? Well, it's all the rage at the moment, isn't it? If you think about it, everyone's talking about zero torque putters and how zero torque is the way forward, and previous putters that are out there on the market don't do as good a job as what lab or zero torque putters actually do. So for me personally, and lots of people have asked me this, is I'm not saying that lab putters are the answer to everybody, or zero torque is the answer to everybody, but it's certainly an option for people who maybe struggle with their putting a little bit. But then there's loads of options for people, whether it comes to mallet putters, whether it comes to, face balance putters, whether it's full toe hang putters. For me, I use, as most of you know, I use a Scotty with a plumber's neck in it, which gives it a slight toe hang, and that just works perfectly for me. If I go for face balance putters or zero torque putters, I've not spent much time with zero torque, but I don't feel like a face balance putter gives me a bit of a pulling action. Anyway, so I thought in today's video we could focus on fake clubs that are out there on the market. And how do we actually, well, let's look at it. Let's see how much they actually cost. Let's find out from the RNA what the actual rule is. Certainly in the UK, where we'll find out what's happening in the USGA as well. So let's actually find out, how do we know whether a putter that we have, if we know that it's fake, is it illegal? Can we use it in tournaments? I have a question for you. Have you ever come across a fake lab putter?
I certainly have, Dan. Many of our members actually have them, which is a bit of a shame, I think, for the golfing industry as a whole. I can see a lot of sort of fakes or obviously not authentic products coming out, and a lot of people are going to go down that route of buying the less expensive version of things.
Well, that's interesting because, Harold, you may not know about this, but are the members... You getting involved in this as well? Hey? Getting involved? Are the members aware, or are you aware, that by using a fake putter, that putter might not be on the conforming list, and therefore they are, if they're playing in competitions,
They're breaching rules.
They're breaching the rules and they're disqualified?
I never actually thought about it, to be honest.
Nor have I.
I never thought about it.
Nor have I, but the email has come in asking from somebody who is a member here, who actually has one of those fake lab putters and was concerned that he might be breaching the rules if he decides to enter the competition with his fake putter.
Yeah, true. I've never actually thought about it until you've just mentioned it, but it's crazy actually. And they probably won't be.
No. So today we're on investigation day.
Investigation.
I'm going to be calling the RNA. We're going to find out what the rules are, so everybody knows exactly what's going on.
Surely they'd have to test them though.
Yeah, well, no, they'd have to be sent to the RNA to go in through the conforming and to see if they are conforming, and therefore they would then go on a list, which I don't know much about the list, but I do know that it exists.
But these companies aren't going to send them off because it's going to cost.
It will cost.
Huge amount of money.
It will cost.
And then obviously that increases the price of the product.
The big question is, are these fake lab putters coming out the same factory as a lab putter?
And that's another
I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question.
That's right.
So anyway,
interesting.
I'll give you a full update later on.
Give me a call.
All right. With that in mind, let's take a closer look at the Temu website. Right, let's type in lab putters. See what that actually... Lab putters for men. Let's just lab putters golf. Yeah, straight away. £49 for a lab putter, £37 for a... Well, to be fair, it's not a lab. It's not class. They're not classing themselves as labs. They're just zero torque. £37.73. That looks like we've got a Valentine's special coming on here. So there is quite a few, and to be fair, I mean, let me just look at that one there, because that is £29 for that putter. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want a promotion, thank you. I just want to look at the putter. Not got the lab style grip on that one, has it? So, okay, DF3. Let's look at that one. £69.90, so £70. DF3, I mean, yeah, got that kind of, that style of forward press type of putter grip on there as well. Different colours, different options. I mean, that one there, that's more like the, that's more like the tailor-made one, isn't it? Very similar to that. So yeah, so it would be interesting to see what's actually on the conforming kind of list, wouldn't it? To see what's kind of, what is actually happening. Different colours, DF3s in different colours, 95 quid. That's kind of where I thought it was, the DF3i. That's the one with the new face insert. So that's, again, very, very similar. Again, full, that same grip as what we're getting on the lab. So these are the putters that people are buying. And Harry did say that some of the guys that have bought these putters, I think the slightly older versions, they have... oh, there we go. That's one that Paul's got, which looks like a tank. They've got ones that actually say, I think even say lab on them. So... anyway, I think it's time to make a quick call to the RNA and just see what they have to say about these fake putters and see what the situation is with regards to the conforming list. Yeah, good morning. I'm trying to get hold of somebody with regards to equipment and conforming equipment. Okay, what's the best email?
.org. All right.
Perfect. This is what I struggle with in the corporate world. I'm not very good with emails. I prefer to pick up the phone and have a conversation with somebody, but I feel like a lot of people love to hide behind an email. Just trying to get my head around corporate world. RNA are in it as well, aren't they? So whilst we wait for the RNA to actually get back to me, I've actually got hold of a fake lab putter. Now this one is known as the Mez 1. It's actually one of the guys that works in the pro shop. He bought it as more of an experiment. He doesn't actually use it as a putter that's in his golf bag, so he can't use it in competitions, and he's aware of that rule when he bought it. But he paid about £85 for this putter. But the reason why he bought it was because he wanted to get an idea of what a zero torque putter kind of feels like. Now, don't get me wrong, I've not done any experiments with these particular putters to find out whether actually the technology is correct on them, because you just don't know what you're buying, do you, when you're buying kind of fake models. But he bought it because it was cheap enough that he could give it a go, and then if he liked it, he may have looked at using a lab putter for the future. But interestingly, when I've had a go with this putter, the feel off the face with this particular putter is it's quite tinny. Now, I've not experimented a lot with kind of lab putters, but I've had a go with my brother's, which was kind of similar to this style, and that felt a little bit more solid off the face. This one feels like it's quite, I don't know, maybe a little bit more hollow inside there, but this video is not necessarily about what the quality of this putter is like, but visually, I mean, it looks literally identical, but I'd have to put one next to it to get a real sense of that. Historically, whenever I've kind of seen fake clubs, I've always grabbed kind of like the shaft and twisted the shaft, and sometimes you can get a sense that it's maybe a little bit, well, cheaper than what you'd find in a real lab. But I'm not feeling that with this particular putter. It's pretty rigid in its feel, but the grip, we've got one of the grips in the pro shop that Lester must have either bought and is putting onto another lab putter. I'm not sure what he's doing with that, but this grip, even though it's slightly different in its colour, as in this one's a little bit more white compared to the one we've got in the shop there, it's a little bit more creamy in its look. It honestly, the size of it, the feel of it, the look of it, the fonts, everything that they're using is absolutely identical. Oh, we are struggling to get this answer. I might just try the PGA, see what they have to say about it.
Good morning, PJ. Can I help you?
Good morning. My name is Dan Hendriksen. I'm a PJ member down in Devon. I was hoping to maybe speak to somebody in the rules department, if possible. If anyone's about to maybe just answer a rule, quick question on a rule. Yeah, lovely. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Superb.
You're most welcome.
Okay,
thanks, Dan.
Take care. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye-bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a really good conversation. You can always rely on the PGA to actually come up trumps when it comes to rules and things like that. I had a great conversation with a chap from the tournaments department, and we kind of got to the bottom of the fact that actually on the conforming list, when you go into section 2 of the R&A website, on the conforming list, which is kind of explore the equipment, there's an equipment database area, and you can search the database here. But what's interesting, if you go into the category here, which is what I've got, you've got conforming drivers, conforming golf balls, and you've got irons, wedges, fairway woods, and hybrids. There's nothing on there that talks about putters. I've even typed in, keywords like lab, and nothing has come up. Nothing has come up from that either. I've even gone into the manufacturers and had a little look to see if I could find lab on here. But again, there's absolutely nothing in there that indicates that putters have gone through a process to be put onto this conforming list. Certainly not from a lab point of view. And I can only go with the information that's in front of me on the R&A website. And what the guy said from the PGA was that he said that possibly because this is a little bit of a grey area, let's say within the rules of golf, as in, conforming lists for putters, what he's saying is that the reason why I've maybe not got a response at this moment in time is because the R&A are probably trying to deal with it, and they're having probably conversations with the USGA so that when they actually release information about products or rules like we're talking about here now, giving me an answer, they need to make sure that they're both singing from the same hymn sheet. So maybe this is an area that is, a grey area that is being discussed amongst the bigwigs within the USGA and the R&A, and hopefully we'll get an answer in the long run. But really what it comes down to, and what I've kind of, I suppose, got to the point of, is that it's a rules thing. Now, as long as your putter, the way I can see it within the rules of golf, as long as your putter is within, if I type in putter here, as long as your putter is within the rules of golf, as in the way in which it's been built, so length of putter, the lie angle of the putter, as in how the shaft kind of comes up from the actual head itself, what shaft is kind of how it's gone into the head, as long as that is covered, which with all due respect, I'm seeing that it is exactly the same from one lab, the fake lab, to the normal lab, and when you measure the angles, everything is within the rules of golf that it says here. So It's a tricky one, isn't it? We're not actually getting to the bottom, and I don't think from this video we're going to get to the bottom of it. In my mind, based on what I'm getting the information from the RNA, or from the PGA, and what I'm seeing on the RNA website, is that as it stands right now, I think a fake lab putter, as long as it's within the rules of golf, as in its angles, I think we're fine. I think we're actually fine to go ahead and play within the rules. And that is what it comes down to, is making sure that the grooves on the face, if it's got grooves, which this one does, is making sure that it doesn't exceed the certain parameters of what the actual groove should be. Interesting. I think we've stumbled across something which I think needs more discussion. The rules of golf are built on honesty. And when it comes to a player, it's their responsibility to ensure that the clubs that they're using are conforming with the rules of golf to then enter the competition. The only way that this is ever going to be dealt with on a day-to-day basis, on a case-by-case basis, is a player may be asked, is your club within the rules of golf? Is it on the conforming list, and does it allow you to be able to use it in a competition? It's down to that player to actually prove that their club is within the rules of golf, which enables them to be able to use it. So again, the game of golf built on honesty in a big way, which is what I respect and what we love about this game. And I think that's kind of what the conclusion is that it comes down to you as the individual to make sure that you've got the right equipment that's going to conform with everybody else within that competition, to ensure that you're not having an advantage over them by using something that's giving you that advantage. Well, probably not the conclusion that I was expecting to get from this video. However, it's been great going through the research, and I expect to get something back from the RNA at some point once they've got their head around exactly what is going on with these putters out there and whether they're conforming or not. But for me, I've got to get myself ready because I'm getting myself prepped for a coaching trip to Portugal. For those of you that are joining me on that trip, I look forward to seeing you. For those of you that don't know anything about it, go and check out Locker Room Golf. Make sure you're linked up to the newsletter that comes out on a weekly basis, and you'll have a bit more of an understanding of exactly what we're doing on these little trips away. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again on the next video.